Alright, so back again, and welcome to a Rocket League song tier list. Now, the idea of tier list on this channel is completely new. I feel like this one as a whole is completely a new idea. I don't think anyone's done this before, the Rocket League song tier list. So we're going to be going through all the songs that can come on the games. We're not going to be doing like play anthems like Supersonic, Rocket Battle, fuck off. We're not doing that. And we're not doing the throwback anthem or anything that kind of appears in a player anthem and not on the game. So these are all our main menu songs that come up in the playlist, etc. And some people won't even have music on, so they won't even know what I'm talking about. Some will, and some will know them very well. And some of you will obviously disagree because it's opinionated list. And some of you might like the ones I put in the bottom of the list, and some of you might hate the ones I put in the top of the list, but that's just how it works. It's just different music tastes, isn't it? So, but if you do disagree, let me know. If you disagree by quite a lot, please do let me know. And I'll try and reason with you as to why I don't really agree with you. But it's going to take quite a while, as you probably can tell by the video length. It's going to take a long time. Now, the original plan is I'm going to put a clip of each song on, so you obviously can hear the songs, so some of you might not know what they are. And however, this may be an issue. If I do get copyright strike, I may have to take the music out, and that will explain why there's no music. If I do say there's no music, that is why. Unfortunately, I would like to give you music, but I can't do that without getting fucking banned. But here we go then. Here is our Rocket League song tier list, and I hope you agree with most of them. Some good songs, some fucking terrible songs, and we have 5 categories. We have elite, good, average, poor, and skip, which means we have to skip instantly. But let's get into it then. Our first album is the very first one that came out. I'm pretty sure it's just called the Rocket League Plays #1. I'm pretty sure it's something like that. Let's get into that now. So we have our first song and we have Angel Wings by Mike. I had the title name and the artist. Go through each album alphabetically. Yeah, Angel Wings. Now this one I'll give you a listen to now. Hopefully anyway, hope I don't get copyright strikes. And it's quite a good song, a lot of you will know it, and being quite good, it's going to find itself in the good category. And that is our first good. One of the very first songs. I obviously played this game since it first came out, so I know pretty much all the songs here. And this is one of my first favourite songs on this game. Although the reason why it doesn't make elite is because it's purely, I feel like nostalgia gets me a bit more than the actual song. And it kind of takes a long time to kind of get going. It's a common theme with these songs as well, which I guess I kind of expect in this type of music, but it's just the ones in elite, as you will see, don't take this time to start, and they get straight into the good stuff. And Angel Wings is a good song, but it takes some time, and it's not average because it is really good. But yeah, that is our first one. You can see which one's next. We have Darkness. I won't say this every time. You can see the list. You can see which one's coming next. I'll try and speed this up because this video is going to take a very long time otherwise. So next we have Darkness. Same album, of course. Just the next song. And this song's okay. I'll give you listening to it now. So Darkness is an all-round good song, but as you can see, you probably know, if you have listened to this song before, you'll know it's a fucking 7.5 minute song, and the intro to it is about 2.5 minutes. So that is why it finds itself in an average category. As it actually gets into it, it'd probably be a good song, but it just takes so long, and by the time the build-up's finished, I'm kind of bored of it. That's why I skip past it. That's why it's average, and it's not a poor song. But in fact, it has actually got a nice beat once it gets going. So that's Darkness then. Next we have Flying Forever. Now this is also a decent song, I'll give you a listen. Very commonly used in goal celebrations, I find. And it's a decent song, but I only put it in average. Probably wouldn't find good because it's kind of boring, do you know what I mean? It's not really the most... I don't really know how to describe it. It's just not really exciting song. It doesn't really get me going. It is quite boring. And it's quite repetitive as well. But it's quite nice. It's quite nice and chill, which is why it's not in the poor category. That's why it's not in the good category, just mainly because it is quite tedious. And after you listen to it once, I don't really want to listen to it again, to be honest. Next, we have I Can Be. Now, I fucking love this song. We listen to it now. It used to be my goal celebration music. The only reason why this song is not elite is because for the same reason it's quite repetitive, and also it's not really elite standard. Like, it's probably on the border, because I actually love this song. It used to be one of my favourites, but it is what it is. It's a good song. It's not an elite song. The elite song is very kind of, you'll see the categories that it falls into. It's like perfect for me, and obviously that's my opinion. No one's going to agree with me 100% are they. Next we have In My Dreams. Now, I've been using this a lot on my alternate accounts for all different videos, etc., as my goal celebration song. I do love this song. I'll give you a listen. Now, again, the only thing that stops us being the lead, the only thing, I love the bit at the end, I love the beat drops, the only thing that's holding this back is the fact that it takes 2 and a bit minutes to get started. Again, there's no need for it. Just cut the intro in half and you'll be fucking elite. It's a great song though, I love it. I do love playing this song when I score, and the after bit as well, the scoreboard, the kind of the vocals come in, and it's a good song to have on. But yeah, that is why that's not elite, but it's definitely not average. It's definitely above average. Next we have La Cunha. Now this is again a very long song. I'll give you a listen to what the mid bit sounds like. This song again, I used to have it as my goal explosion music on this account as well. I do like this one. However, the actual song itself is again 7.5 minutes, and the fucking load up time again. It's a common theme with these kind of early songs. They take a long time to get into it, and the intro is almost too long, and it gets boring after a while. The drop in the beat is quite nice, but other than that, I don't really have much positive to say about it. Okay. There's no words or anything, which isn't a bad thing, of course, especially this type of music. It's very common. We do have a very long build-up, and that's not really ideal, especially with these kind of music. I do want to get straight into it. The build-ups are all well and good, but if it takes too long, it makes the song boring. But it's very close to the good border. I do like the drop, but it's not quite the standard as the others. Next we have Love Through the Night. All these by the same person, by the way. My cult is actually was anyway, I don't know if it still is, the music summon for Psionics when it first came out. It's why all these songs are by him and his band Hollywood Principle. If you don't know, that is his band. That's why all the first album songs are by him. If you haven't noticed why I'm not saying the same name every time, that is why. This song's okay, I'll give it a listen. Not my favourite, quite boring, quite tedious. Not really got any kind of beat going on here. It's just it's a bit dry, but it's not poor. It's quite catchy. Okay. And some people have used it at goal celebrations, and that's probably why I don't like it as much, because it's quite rinsed. And but it's quite nice to hear now and then, which is why it's average. Coming on to the most OG song there is, the Rocket League theme, the one I hear every time I highlight the fucking icon on my PS5. Give it a listen. You probably know it by now anyway. All the OG players will be screaming at me for this, but I'm putting in poor. And the reason why is mostly because I hear it every fucking day, and it does really drain me. But it's just quite annoying, isn't it? It's quite noisy. It's quite loud. It's not really really easy to listen to. It's not chill. It's not good, is it? Really? It's just kind of like frustratingly annoying. I don't really have to describe it. And the fact that the nostalgia is what's put it in a poor, not skip. The only reason I listen to it is to kind of get the feel of the old game, but it is really annoying. It's not really like a nice song to listen to. It's quite irritating, and it's not something I hear fucking rarely either. I hear it all the time, so that doesn't help things for it. Next we have the original scene. What's next? Not a remix version, just the original. This one is very nice. Give it a listen. But this you actually unlock in the Rocket Pass of something like level 60 or something like that, and it's a nice goal celebration. I used to have it on. It's really chill. I like it. I like the kind of softness of it. That's why it's good. It could be average, but I do like the kind of. It's one of them that's not trying to be like high energy. It's meant to be the way it is, which is why it's not boring in the way. It's meant to be how it is. And it's not elite just because it's too slow in a way. It's getting that balance that puts it in elite, but it's good. It's on the border, definitely. Next up we speak Chinese, a very electro song. Let's get into that. this is also rinsed in Goal Celebration, probably why it's put it where it is. It's in the poor category for me. A lot of people might not like that, because I know a lot of people do use it for their Goal Celebration, but it's just a bunch of noise to me, to be honest. I don't find it very nice to listen to, or very like attractive listen. It's just quite irritating to me, and I would usually skip it. The only reason I wouldn't is because I'm in that kind of mood, maybe, but it's very borderline skip. It was very like a not very nice one for me to pick. And for our last song of this album, we have Whiplash. Now this is again a very long song, give it a listen. It's very similar to the kind of two long ones already, which is kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of like not as good as them either, which is why it's finding itself in the poor category, mainly because it has all the reasons of the ones like Lacuna and etc. why it's in the average, that its build-up's too long, and it fucking takes a long time for it to actually get going. But yeah, with the others, they actually do have something kind of going from the beats quite nice, or something else, kind of puts it in that average category. This really doesn't. It's quite boring. It's not really exhilarating at all. It's not really exciting songs to listen to, but that is why it finds itself as poor, mainly because all those reasons about the long build-up, etc. I don't really find that nice. Mostly, sometimes it can be nice, but sometimes it's too long, like this one, and that's why I find itself in poor. And next we get to the unreleased tracks, because I forgot to do them first in the table. I should have done them first, just the kind of order it comes on the game. The unreleased tracks, anything that's kind of made by the game, or anything that's not released, remix, etc. Let's get into the first one, which is the Battle Bus remix, unfortunately, by the Epic team. Okay, so that is the Battle Bus remix. So, if you don't know, very nostalgic for me because I played that game as much as I fucking despise Fortnite nowadays. When it first came out, it used to be a banging game, and that song is a remix of the very first load up screen from Fortnite. That's why it finds itself for me in an average category. As an all-round song, it's probably a poor song, but the nostalgia for me is what gets me into the average category. So yeah, that's where the Battle Bus remix goes. Next we have Don't Stop the Party, and then you can listen to it for a bit. So this song ends up in the poor category. Now I just didn't really like the way this song was, to be honest with you. I just didn't like the drop at all. The beat was just a bit mediocre, do you know what I mean? It wasn't very good. It was just a bit average, but in a way like in a bad average. So that's why it finds it in the poor category. Next we have the remix version of Firework, and here it is for you now. So this song, people kind of rated it back in the day, but for me now, it's a poor song. I don't rate it. The drop just isn't for me. It's not really something that I like. The kind of beat that comes from it, wasn't really a fan of it, so it goes into the poor category for me. Next you have Infinite Power. Now this song came with the Rumble update. I'm pretty sure it came around the same time as that. When Rumble got introduced, it came around then, so a very long time ago. And let's give this a listen. Infinite Power. Now this song goes in the average category, so it's quite it's not a great song, but it's an okay song, which is why it's an average. It's pretty much the definition of average. Alright, but not great. So that's why it finds itself in the average category. It's an alright song, you know, it's quite catchy, it's quite something that you can listen to, but it's not really something I'd like put on. If it played, I wouldn't really skip it, but it's not something I'd like think, oh yeah, let's put Infinite Power on. And the second last song in this album is Solar Eclipses. There's people like this song, let's get into it now. Solar eclipses. People like this song. It's been quite a common thing, I think, in the Goal Celebrations now. It's been introduced into that kind of category. However, I'm putting this in the average category. It's not incredible. It's not bad at all by any means. I just feel like it's a bit boring. It's a good song, but you know, it's not a bad song is what I'm trying to say, but it's not like breathtaking, so that's why it finds up an average. And finally, this album we have Spell, and this song was very early. I do actually remember this song being on the intro back in its old day. Let's have a listen. See, I was torn between average and poor for this one. So it's not a bad song at all. You know, the kind of build up is quite nice, but the drop isn't good. And you know what puts it's ended up in poor? The reason why it's tipped to poor is the final beat drop is absolutely horrendous. Why they decided to ruin a nice song with that horrible beat drop, I will never know. It was just absolutely. If you don't know, go and give it a listen and you will hear it. It's just a fucking mess. It really is. So next we move on to the official game soundtrack volume 2, which is the third album on the game. And we start off with Breathing Underwater. Let's have a listen to that now. So, Breathing Underwater, I have in fact put this in the average category. The reason why, the beat's quite nice. I just feel like it's a bit, it is just really average. I don't really know how I'm supposed to describe it, to be honest with you. It is just quite average. The beat's nice, the singing's quite nice. I don't really know what else to say, to be honest. But you know, it's not good standard, but it's not poor by any means. Next we have Escape from LA. Now I'll give you a listen to this. Now, in fact, it's the first one going in the skip category. The only reason why I'll tell you this is because the beat, I just don't like it. The drops are just horrible as well. And if I did see that come on, the start of it just puts me off even more. So I would skip it straight away. Next we have Firework. This is the original version. And here's the listen for you. Now this one is going in the poor category as well as its remix. The reason being they're pretty much the same, pretty much, and it's just a bit boring, isn't it? Like the beat's just not really interesting. It's very standard, not really kind of a nice beat. Doesn't really do anything, and that's why it finds itself in poor. Next we have Game Time, one of the shortest songs on the list. I'll give you a listen.
Native with the hang time. That's why ain't no one can see us when it's game time. Let's go. They say the greats always aim high and still stay grounded at the same time. And so they see us got native with the hang time. That's why ain't no one can see us when it's game time.
No surprise where it's going to end up. It's going to end up a skip category. I don't know why the fuck this song's even in the game. A 40-second snippet of someone just waffling, and then as soon as it seems it's about to drop, he just cuts off. Like, it's such a waste of time, and it's a definite skip for me. Probably the easiest decision I've had to make so far. Next we have Hard Buzz. Here's a listen to that. And again, this one finds itself in the skip category. We've had a few from this album so far. It's really just not good. Same as Escape from LA. The drop is just not nice. It's just not a nice song to listen to, so I would skip it straight away pretty much. Now we have Looking to the Future. Here's a listen for you. Now this song has ended up in the poor category. It's not as bad as the skip ones, but it's just still not great, is it really? A lot of the songs in this album really just aren't like good. They're just they're just pretty dead, to be honest. I don't really know how to describe them fully, but they're just not the best, are they? Anyway, moving on, we've got a lot to get through. Next is Scorched Earth. This again, another song, the fourth one in this playlist is going in the skip category. Another one where it's just too like, it's just not nice. I don't know. There's no other way to put it. It's just shit. Like it's an insta skip from me. Next you have Seen What's Next. However, this is the remixed version. Now, I love the first song. I absolutely love the original. This one's going average. Okay. It's not quite as good. The vibe of the first one's just immaculate, whereas this one, it kind of takes away that vibe. And albeit the drop's okay, it's just not amazing. It kind of took away the vibe that I associate with this song, and it kind of made it worse. But it's not a bad song. I wouldn't skip it by any means. And finally, the last one in this album, we have When the Lights Come On. This song is going in the poor category. This album overall didn't do very well. 4 in the skip, a few in the poor, I think 2 in average, so none of them got higher than that. This song again, same story, just all the drops in this are just really not nice. There's no kind of, nothing else to judge it on other than the drop because it's just purely sound. There's no like lyrics or anything, there's nothing else I can kind of vouch for it. Just the drop's got to be nice, the beat's got to be nice, it's just really not on all of it. I don't find any higher than the average category. Anyway, that is the second official game soundtrack. That is the third album we've got through now. Next we have the first Rocket League X Monster Cap volume, being volume 1 of course, and we'll get into the first song, 0202. Now this is an incredible song, but it's so chill. I do like the chillness of it. It's going to find itself an average. It's quite low energy, but I don't mind that. I don't mind that. That's its intention. It kind of seems that way, and it seems to be quite chilled. I do like the song as well. It's quite a nice one to have in the background, so it's going to find itself an average. Next we have All Me. Let's get into that now. Now this song, pretty much same as the ones from the last album, is going to find itself in poor for the same reason. The drop just isn't, I don't enjoy that kind of drop, like it's just not nice. I don't really find it that good. It doesn't really get me like excited or anything like that. It's not chill either, it's just quite annoying, so it's going to find itself in poor. And next we have Apex, let's get into that one. Now this song is just a bit more higher energy, and I like it a bit more than the last one. So I'm going to find something average. It's quite a nice song. It's not like the beat is better. Like, I don't really know how else to describe these songs other than the beat. Like the whole song is just the beat and the vibe of it, and this vibe's quite nice. It's an average song. Next you have Bone Dry. This album is huge as well, by the way. So you've got a lot of songs to get through. Let's get into Bone Dry now. So this song is quite nice actually. It's quite a chilled song. I quite like the kind of relaxed vibe it gives off, and it's going to find itself average. I do like this song. It's quite nice to just having the. I'm saying the same things because I don't really know what else to say. It is just a true fact. Like the songs are just, you need to listen to them to understand what I'm saying. They are quite chilled. This one's quite nice, and it's quite a nice lyrics as well. But yeah, it is average. There's not really much else to say about it. It's not incredible, but it's not bad in any means. Yeah, my reason's going to get more and more redundant as it goes on because, to be honest, it's quite hard to explain every single one in a different way. They all kind of have the similar reasons. And next we have Break Me. Let's get into that now. Okay, so Break Me actually does find itself in the good category. I do really like this song. It's got a nice kind of vibe to it. The beat's good. The beat drop's good as well. And it's quite a good. It's like the build up to the song's quite nice as well. It's going to find something good for that reason. It's pretty much probably one of the only ones in this album that's going to find itself anywhere above average. But it's a really nice song. Next we have Call Me. Let's get onto that. Not All Me. Call Me. This song is going to go into the average category. It's a nice drop. It's a much nicer drop than the ones that have been so far. It's doable. It's some of them just to make my ears bleed. Some of them are quite nice to have on the background. Some of them are actually quite nice to listen to as well, like this one, which is why it finds it an average. But no, it's not good. By no means is it good. The good categories for those that actually like I can sit here and actually like listen to and vibe to properly. These ones I just don't mind having on. Next we have Collisions. Let's get into that. Now this is a very, very low energy song, and it's almost too relaxed. I don't mind it, but it's not great, so it's going to find itself in a poor category. Mostly because it's quite nice to listen to for a minute, but after a while, so you just get bored of it. And the beat doesn't change at all, so it's just kind of the same thing over and over again. Next we have Drift Away. Let's get into that. this song ups the last couple, it goes into average. The only reason being the actual drop that comes is quite nice. It's quite a energizing beat. I don't really know how to describe that, to be honest. I'm saying the same things. I know I'm saying the same fucking things, but I don't know what else to say about the songs other than the beat's nice, or it's a nice vibe. It just is. I don't know what else to say. Even though I'm repeating the same things, they have the same meaning. Like they have the same meaning. And now we come on to Drop It by Aerochord. Now, this song would be in poor if it wasn't for the kind of hype that the beat drop brings. It's such a good drop, but it's kind of just like anticlimactic after that. It doesn't really happen again, does it? It's only like a one-time drop, and that's why it's ended up in average.
Okay.
It's not a bad song by any means, but it's nowhere near good, so it's going to find itself an average. And next we have Fury. Let's get into that one. So this song is quite intense. It's quite like high energy. It's like a hype song, isn't it? It's not really. I don't know how else to describe it other than the hype song. It's gonna find itself an average.
Okay.
It's a good hype song. I like it. I'm gonna try and cut down the explanations for what I'm saying now, because I'm literally just repeating the same things. Next we have Love You Need You.
All I wanna do is to put my arms around you and watch these moments fall back into place. All I wanna do is to make you stop and love me. How can I be blue when you catch me?
Now this song, I was debating between poor and skip, but it's found itself in the poor category. It's kind of tolerable, but it's just so annoying. There's no need for that high-pitched Mickey Mouse stuff, is there? Like, it's just no need for it. It just ruins a song. It's quite catchy, which is why it finds itself in the poor category. If it wasn't for that, it would be in the skip category. And next we have Outbreak. Let's listen to that.
Into the night, the city lights are dancing, slowly falling apart. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm wishing upon a star.
So this song actually does find itself an average, mostly because it's got some quite nice lyrics in it as well, and they always just add to the song to kind of coincide the song with that. So it's quite nice. It's going to find itself an average. Now we have Play to Win.
Games begin, 'cause I play to win.
But this song could have been average if it just had a better drop. Like the drop's it's quite chilled, I get that, but it's just not good, is it? Like it's not really like a nice chilled one. It's quite a dead chilled one. That's why it finds itself in poor category instead. Next we have Rocket by Tokyo Machine. Now this song is again a bit too much for me. It's a bit like heavy, and it's not even a nice song to listen to, but it's going to be a poor song. It's not quite a skip or an average or anything like that. It's just a stand up poor. No other way really to describe it other than poor. And next we move on to Skyfall. Let's listen to this. Now this song was bordering poor, but I put it in average because it's quite nice. Beat, I do like it quite. It's quite uplifting. I do like it. It's quite a nice one to have on, but it's nothing better than average. Next is Twilight. This song's a bit different. It's a bit different to ones we've seen so far. It's quite like uplifting. It's energetic. I do like that kind of thing. It gives it off a good vibe, and I do like that. It's fine to have an average. Other than that, it's not really anything special, is it? It's quite standard, so it's good for it's just an average song. And second to last, we have Wake Up You're Dreaming. Now this song is a definition of a chill song. I like it in the background. The piano is quite nice. It's going to be an average song again. There's a lot of average songs on this album. There's not really anything that stands out. And there's nothing that was really terrible. So it's kind of between poor and good. This album. And this one's quite the same. It's quite a nice chill song. The piano is quite nice. The drop's quite chill. I do like it. It doesn't like make my ears bleed. So it's going to be average. And finally we have Weapon, last song in this album.
I can be a weapon.
This song is also going to be average like the majority of this album, and it's the reason why it's average and not poor is because nice lyrics in there, nice voice singing, and it just puts it above the rest. The lyrics add a bit, and the drop's quite nice as well. And they're all quite chill, these albums. They're not nothing like proper like heavy ear bleeding stuff. It's quite chill, so I do like them all. But yeah, that is the album. Then we'll get into Monsters of Cat Volume 2 now, which is the one after that, and this is the 5th album on the game. We're getting to our first song, which is Flow.
1, 2, 3.
So this song has a big build up, and then the drop is just really anticlimactic. It's really not a nice one to listen to. It's a bit boring. As you're going to find in the poor category again. We've had a lot of poor songs so far. Not as many as average as you can see, but it's still a lot of poor songs. So there's hopefully, we haven't even had the elite yet, but we will do soon, definitely. Next is My Love by Coven.
None of this seems right. What am I holding on to? It could be a black or white, but we're too sunrise.
I'm saying about elite songs, I mean, we've just fucking had one. This song is absolutely unbelievable. The drop is just, it's so nice. And Coven, I think they have 2 songs in this game, and they're both incredible. They're pretty much, I think they're both elite. I think we'll see that later, but the beat and the lyrics just go together so well, and it's such a nice song. And I do have good memories of this song, playing this game when it first came out, and this was the menu song, and I'd probably put it a bit higher than it may be for other people. For me, it's an elite song. And next we have New Horizons. Now this song is very similar to the ones that I find ear bleeding, but it's actually just, for some reason, it's nicer. And I feel like the end of the song kind of pushes it up a category. It could have been poor, but it's going to be average. It could have easily been poor, but the end of it kind of boosts it. It's a lot nicer at the end than it is at the start, so that's a benefit for it, and it edged it over the lines at average. Next we have Party Freak. Let's listen to that.
Grind all day, we dance all night. With body freaks, I need you. With body freaks, grind all day, we dance all night.
And this is going to be a good song. It is quite a nice song. It's a mix of, it's not just music anymore. This has more singing than music, and I kind of prefer them a bit more than the kind of heavy, just instrumental songs in a way. Sometimes some of them are better, but this one it has a good mix. It's a good balance, and it's quite catchy as well. So it's going to be a good song. And next we have Truth and Malice. This song is completely different to the usual song. It's quite a sad, emotional song, and it is quite gripping, especially at the end, which puts it in a good category. It could have been elite, it could have also been average, but I'm going to put it in good. I'm going to find the middle ground. They could have been average, depends what mood you're in. If you're in that kind of mood, it will definitely be an elite song, because it is very gripping. The violin at the end really does get me every time, but the averageness comes from the fact it is quite like, the drop, the kind of instrumental drop isn't really the best. It's not really needed in a way, but it's still a good song. And finally for this album we have What Are You Waiting For? Now this song was a very fine line between average and poor, however it's just gone in the average category. The reason why is it starts off quite bad. It's a big build up to kind of a drop which is quite mediocre, however the second drop at the end is a lot better. That's what kind of pushed it over to the average category instead of being poor. So there we have it. Not many songs in this one, only 6, and we'll get into the Monster Cat Volume 3 now. So starting with About You. So this song is going to be an average. I was kind of torn between all three, kind of average, poor and good, but it's just fine to have an average, mainly because I couldn't make my mind up. But it could be either. You know, the poorness kind of comes from the bad drop, but as a few of them have done, it gets better as it goes on, and it kind of pushed it back into average, and then it kind of gets better and better, and as you play it more, you kind of appreciate it more. It could have been good, but I'm going to leave it an average. And next we have Glide. This was once described to me as an 80s crime theme sound, and to me, I can't get out of my head with listening to this, and I just don't like it. It's going to be poor. I just don't like it at all. It's almost like it shouldn't be on the game. It's completely different, and again, that's a good thing. It's just really just not my type of music, and it's going to be poor. It's not quite skip because it's okay. I guess you can say it's okay. It's quite catchy, but other than that, it's got nothing going for it. And next we have Hours.
Bending over backwards just to let you in. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up.
Which is another one that finds itself in the poor category. So this song had quite a nice build up. I was thinking average when I first listened to it, but then the beat drop comes and it just really is anticlimactic. It's just, there could be so much better song. This was quite a nice build up as well. It was quite a nice chilled, laid out, kind of laid back vibe, and then the drop comes and just ruins it. So it's going to be a poor song, unfortunately. And that's all I have to say about that. And next we have Keep You. So here we have another quite nice build up, again ruined by the drop. It's going to find itself in poor. It's another one that just has a bad drop. There's so much potential in some of these songs that just isn't found. And it's going to be poor. And next we have Shiawaza by Dion Timo, who actually appears quite a lot in this. Now this song is going to be a good song. I know this song quite well. I used to listen to it quite a lot on the game when it was first come out. And this album first came out, and it is a good song. There's no doubt about it. It's a good song. It's quite really catchy, and the bit at the end just makes it even better. I was thinking maybe Elite, but it's not quite that standard. It's going to be good. And to end the album off, we're going to have Silhouette. So here we have our second Elite song. This is my kind of, this was my favourite song for a long time. It's such a good song. Like, the singing in it is just brilliant. I like this kind of, I like Bad Computer. They're quite nice. The songs they have in this game are really pretty much the top of the list, most of them. And they are very good. And this song is just one of my favourites by far. And there's no doubt in my mind putting this as Elite. It's just a perfect chilled song. There's nothing else to say about it. But now we come on to Monster Cat Volume 4, which also has 6 songs. They kind of cut down the songs in the volumes as they go on. But let's get into this first song being Burning Up. Now, this song is a definition of what I call an ear bleeder. But the only thing that goes, it's quite a hype song, so it's going to find itself in poor instead of skip. The only reason it's not in fucking skip is the fact that it is quite a nice hype song. Other than that, it's just ear bleeder. It's too intense. I don't like it. It's too much going on at one time. And next we have Charge, so let's listen to that now. So this song is very similar to Burning Up in that it's slightly better. It's a lot better, in fact. It's going to find itself in an average category because of that. It's still a relatively similar song, but the beat is just a lot nicer to listen to. It's not like ear splitting. It's quite a nice song. It's a lot better than Burning Up, which is why it finds itself in average. And next we have Contra.
I don't want to lose it all, lose it all.
So this song is going to be the only one in this category for this album. It's going to be the good category, and it's a mix of the good stuff. It's got a good voice going on. It's got good lyrics. It's also got a nice drop as well to go inside with it. I was thinking maybe Elite, but it's just not that standard. It's just really not that standard compared to the other ones in Elite. It's not that good. And next we have Fly. Let's get into that.
Tell me where you wanna go. We could fly to the stars, yeah. Tell me if
Now, I was originally going to put Fly in the poor category, but I changed my mind and put it in the average category just because it's quite chilled, and it does actually improve as time goes on as well, so it does get better. And next we have Horsepower, the second to last song on this album. Let's listen to it. Now this song is the definition of a hype song, and it is proper hype. The only thing that stops it being any higher is the fact that it is quite ear splitting over time, but it is average. They had to get the balance right. I could have put it anywhere between poor and elite, to be honest. Depends what mood I'm in. If I'm in a kind of want chilled mood, this is going to find itself in the skip category. But if I'm in that kind of mood where I want a hype song, this is one of the first songs I'll turn to. It's absolutely fucking relentless. Last song on the album, then, Walking on the Moon. So Walking on the Moon does find itself in the elite category. We have our third elite song. Now this song is incredible. Vibe and lyrics and beat, everything's just there. And it's such a good song, and it's just every time it comes on, I just never find myself skipping it. Especially the start of it just gets me gassed even more to listen to it. But that is the volume 4. And next we will be getting on to volume 5. And there's plenty of good ones in this one. So let's start off with Badlands. So 2 elite songs in a row. Badlands will find itself in elite songs as well. It is just the perfect hype song as well. It is literally, those hype songs that are coming on earlier just weren't to this standard. This one is perfect. The beat is absolutely perfect. And as much as I don't like the Mickey Mouse kind of filter noise, it suits the song very well, and it's done well here. This is definitely an elite song. Next we have Cast Away. This song finds itself in the average category. So this song was good. I was thinking good at first, but the drop just isn't that great. It's what puts it down to average. It was very close to being good. I do like the lyrics in it. I do like the kind of overall vibe, but the first drop is like too harsh. I don't like that kind of ear splitting, like high pitched noise. It's just really not a nice thing to listen to. It's going to be average instead of good because of that. Next we have Expedition. So this is a nice chilled song again, but it can't go any higher than average. It's kind of just like an average nice song to listen to. It's not good. It's not in the good category. I'm not saying it's not good, but it's not in the good category compared to the ones that are in the good category. It's not that level. It's not a poor song by any means, though. It's going to be an average. Next we have From Here.
Strangers stand lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here.
Before we get into this, I have to point out, having listened to this song, I decided to move up the original and seeing what's next to Elite, as you can see now. Having listened to this song and what it is, I just rethought about my decision to put seeing what next in good. I don't know why I did that. It's definitely an Elite song, so that's been moved up. And this song, again, no doubt in my mind, is Elite. No doubt. Some of you might question that, but it's just the way it is. It's meant to be how it is. It's such like a emotional song, and it's so nice to have on at times. It's such like a chilled. It's like a night song. It's just so good. The vibe is perfect. It might be quite depressing for some people, but I don't mind that. If that's his intention, then it's quite a powerful thing to listen to. That sounds really weird, but it is quite powerful. It can change your mood drastically, which might, I don't know, it could be quite a bad thing. People might think it should be low because of that, but I do like it. I like the vibe in it. And next we have OU. So we have a second elite in a row. We have OU in elite as well. This is like a mixture of From Here and Badlands. It's literally a perfect mix of them. It's almost like a heartfelt song with a nice drop, and it's just beautiful. I love it. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just such a nice song. This album is so good. The average rank for this album, I don't think any of them are lower than average, and we have 3 elites in here as well. This album did well. It was very good. The 3 elite songs are some of my favorites in this game. Finally, this album though, we have Running. So this song I was originally thinking poor, but I almost kind of like the vocals in it. I almost kind of like the vibe. Just about got itself into average. I was thinking poor at first, but as time went on, I kind of grew on it more, and it's got into average. So we are now moving on to the Radical Summer album. There's plenty of songs in here. This album did really well, the last one, the Volume 5. And we're just going to start off the next album with Aeon Metropolis. Okay, this song is a good song. It is a nice vibe. So it starts off very kind of high energy, and it doesn't disappoint. The beat doesn't really disappoint compared to the ones that kind of do that, the big build-ups. And it's quite, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like a nice kind of, it's quite like a retro song. I don't know what words I'm trying to get out here, but it's nice. I don't know how to describe it. It's nice. It's going to be a good song. And next we have Carissa. Also going to go in the good category. It's almost like a laid back song with just like a nice drop in there that's not too harsh on your ears, and it goes with the vibe of the song well. So it's going to be a good song. Next we have Dad's in Space. This song I was kind of waiting for the beat to come in. I was waiting for the drop. The build up was nice. Waiting for the drop. It never really came. It was very anticlimactic, in fact. It's going to be a poor song because of that. I do like the kind of build up, but nothing really happens. Then when the beat does eventually drop after about 2 minutes, it's really not the best. So it's going to have to be in the poor category just for that. Next we have Hang Up.
Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby.
And I've got small icons for the good category because this song is good. It is a very nice song. It's the vocals go well with the music. Again, that's kind of the key theme in good. And it's a very catchy song, so it's very good. It's going to be in the good category. And next we have If I Could.
Yeah, you might want to get a fast track, but you can't just keep that.
So I was originally thinking average for this song, and then the beat drop came in. It's a very, very common theme going on here. The beat drop just didn't meet up to the expectations I had for the song. And it could have been so much better, but it's going to be a poor song because of that. It's going to be average otherwise, but the drop ruined it for me. And next we have Let's Talk.
Baby, I'm not caught or I got language. I ain't got no time to sit here and cry. You know life is better when we just
So, like a lot of the songs, I start off with something going in mind, and this originally I had poor in mind. But the last part of the song is so much better.
Okay.
It could have been, if it was just the last part of the song, it probably would have been a good song. But because of the start and the kind of not very nice beat drop at the start, it's going to be an average song. And that's all I have to say about that. Next is Neon by Televisor. This one has a long build up again, and when that happens, I'm expecting a good drop, and it didn't come, so it's going to be a poor category. It's a very, very common theme going on here. The beat drop doesn't live up to the expectation. It generally does find itself in poor, and the beat drops just aren't nice, and that's what most music is based on, what the beat is. And if it's not good, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be a good song. Next, we have Playing with the Boys, which kind of epitomised this kind of album, and when it first came out, and it was the loading screen for a bit. So So I'm not a big fan of the guitar kind of thing playing in the background, but other than that, it is kind of good. It's going to be average, mainly because it's rinsed for over time by the amount of times I heard it in the fucking loading screen when you load the game up. But other than that, it is quite good. It's quite very catchy. I'm not a big fan of the kind of guitar kind of beat going on in the background, but other than that, it's a good song, but it's going to be average for me. And the last song in this album, we have Sundance. This song takes a very long time to get going, but when it does, it's very chill, it's very nice to listen to. But it's only going to be average for me, only because it does get quite boring over time, and once you hear it once for me, I don't want to hear it again in a way. But other than that, the chill vibe was what puts it in average instead of being any lower. But the fact that it is quite repetitive and it is quite boring over time is what keeps it in average. And that's that. And now we come on to the Throttle EP. Let's get into that now. The first song being Bloom. So this song actually appears later on in the game as well, but it's going to be an average song for me. It's got quite a nice chill vibe going on. The beat's quite nice. I like the kind of drop in a way, but it's nothing really special. Like, I don't really know what else to say. It's nothing like it's not really breathtaking. It's not something that gets you hyped. It's nothing like overly chill either. I feel like it's just a bit average, which is probably why it's ended up in average category. Next we have Cities by Throttle. All these by Throttle.
And all I know is that we lost time. If we stay right here, we could free ourselves inside. We'll stay away.
This song is kind of similar to the last one, but I feel like it's an intention more to be chill, which is what puts it in average. It's not as good as Bloom, I don't think, but the fact it's meant to be the way it is kind of what puts it from poor to average, in my opinion. It's kind of like not very interesting. It's quite boring, but it's quite nice to have in the background, I guess, is what you can say about it. I don't want to put it in poor because it is quite nice to listen to sometimes. And next we have For Me by Throttle. So another one that was bordering average or poor. It's a very common theme with a lot of these songs actually. If I don't really like them, I have to kind of judge between average and poor. This one's going to be an average. It's a very common theme for this album, as you'll see in a second when the other one's coming in as well. But it's not much better than okay though. That's the only thing. The beat is very average. It's quite boring. It's nothing kind of different to what most of the songs are. It's just quite repetitive. It's just average. Honestly, most of the songs that are in the average category really just are average. There's not really much else better way to describe them, to be honest. Next we have Japan. Now this is the only song in the album which is not in average. It is good. It's a lot better than the rest of them. It's so much better. The kind of chilled out emotional vibe it gives off is if you can't tell, I do like that kind of thing from here and seeing what's next and OU and all that, etc. My Love as well up there, very similar to that kind of song, but it's just not quite to that level. It's not quite that level. It was bordering elite, but it's not quite as good as that. It's going to stay in the good category. And finally in this album we have Where You Are. And that pretty much gave away in the last song. It's going to be average. The reason why it's not any higher is because it is quite annoying. The Where You Are all the time is very annoying. It does get very repetitive and very irritating to sometimes, but it's okay, I guess. It's quite catchy, it's quite a hype song. The drop's not bad either, but it's not going to be any higher than average. And that concludes the Throttle EP. Only 5 songs in that album. And next we come on to the Beat Saber album, and we start off with Boundless by Aerochord. So on first listen to the song, I was thinking, oh god, this is going to be like one of them annoying fucking high-pitched songs. But it's actually not. As time goes on, it gets so much better. The drop is quite nice. I just can't quite put it any higher than average. I just find it is quite hype. It's quite nice. It's quite like an energetic song. It's quite an energetic song. I do like it. It's okay, but again, it's just not much better than average. Next we have Epic. Quite reflective of the company, Epic is going to find itself in the fucking skip category. Absolute terrible song this. I cannot stand the vibe it gives off. Kind of retro gaming vibe. It's just annoying. I don't mind that kind of vibe. The drop's okay, but it's just not. And it really is an instant skip for me. As soon as that song starts loading up, I'm skipping that. Next we have Feeling Stronger.
The end of you and me, let it go, let it be. My heart belongs to me. My heart belongs
Which is going to be in the average category. It's quite a nice listen actually. It's completely different to what I thought it'd be at first. But the vocals and the beat go well together, but it's not really anything incredible. It could have been a good song, but I'm going to leave it an average. And next we have Rattlesnake. So I originally had good expectations of this song when it first kicked in. I was thinking, yeah, the drop's going to be good, it's going to be a good song, but it just wasn't. It was very anticlimactic, and it takes too long to get going, in my opinion. But it could have been skipped, but it's going to be poor instead. I guess it's okay, it could be worse. The last song in this album is This Time. Okay, so I first heard this song and thought, you know what, this is a good build-up, and then the beat drop hit me. It is the worst thing, the worst drop I've heard in this game. It is shocking. There's no need for it to be that loud and that annoying. There's no need for it. It's just so like harsh, and it's definitely in the skip category. There's no way I'm putting that any higher. That sums up that album. There's 2 in the skip category, and there's actually not that many in the skip category, so they did pretty poorly. And next we have the Monster Cat Volume 6, starting with Amnesia. So this song, the build-up is so good. I was thinking Elite. I used to listen to, I actually know this song quite well from when it loaded in before, so I didn't have to go and listen to this one again. This one, it starts off so well. I'm thinking Elite all day. The beat drop comes, it's a little bit too harsh for me. I feel like if it wasn't for the beat drop, it would definitely be Elite. But the build-up is just the perfect build-up, and the drop just doesn't quite meet the expectations. So it's going to be a good song instead. Not average because of the build-up, it's just so good, but the beat drop isn't Elite standard. And next we have Colour.
I let you, but you had to loud and spoken me. Lost control, falling over, getting pulled in by your gravity.
So this is an average song. The vibe of it's quite nice. I like the chill vibe, but again, the beat drop in the middle just isn't nice. Like, it's very anticlimactic. It could have been so much better. It could have been a good song, but easily if it had a better drop. The kind of overall vibe, the vocals at the start are quite nice, and it gives you a nice chilled vibe off. But the drop doesn't meet up to the expectations. It's going to be average. Now we have Each Other.
That's when we need each other. That's when we need each other. That's when we need each other.
A very common theme with this album is another average song. As much as I do kind of like the vibe this song gives off, it's quite a chilled, like, laid-back vibe song. It just isn't, like, any better than average, though, is it? I would have struggled to put any higher. It could have been good, maybe, but it's just not that good. Compared to the ones that are in good, it's not that standard. And next we have Internet Boy by Tion Timur again. There's a lot on here, I said. And Shock, another average song. I was usually thinking poor after the first drop, but as time went on, it got much better. It would have been good if it hadn't had that shocking first drop and kind of ruin the song, but the rest of the song was quite nice, so it unfortunately is going to stay an average. And next we have Hot. it's a poor song. There's not really much else to say about it. The drop really isn't nice, is it? It had so much potential, but it just didn't quite work. It could have easily been skip as well, but it kind of just made up for it. Next, we have No Fear Anymore.
Why the smile on your face? Don't fake it. You don't have to pretend. Why the fear in your eyes will make it. Just take a chance.
As you can see, I've had to reset the average column because it is an average song. We will join that average column back up at the end so you can see what songs have been there originally. But No Fear Anymore is an average song, mostly because the drop is, again, very anticlimactic, not quite the level of the song which the build-up kind of gave it, and it would have been good otherwise, but it's going to be average. And next we have Play. Play is a poor song, and I'm sure you lot know why by now. The beat drop, again, is not nice. What is the obsession with such harsh beat drops? The chilled ones are always the ones that find themselves towards the top. The harsh ones are just not very nice to listen to, which is why it's going to be a poor song. Next we have The Darkness, so have a listen to that now.
Feel me in the dark, in the darkness. My shadows, they follow you like an accomplice.
The female voice in this is very nice and quite relaxing. However, we have another bone to pick with this song. The beat drop, yet again, is just too much. It doesn't go with the kind of vibe of the person's voice that you listen to, which puts it in average. It could have been a good song if it wasn't for the beat drop not being so good, but it's going to find itself an average. Another average song. This album has a lot of average songs, but we have two more to go. Next we have Us. Now, I was very close to giving this song a good, but it's just going to find its way back into average again because it was close. The beat drop's a lot nicer than, you know, some of the other songs in this playlist, but it just really isn't good. It sounds harsh, but it just isn't like the standard of the good ones. It's quite a nice song, I guess. It's quite a nice song to have in the background, but it's a little bit too harsh and too strong for me. So our final song of this album, we have Wishes.
It started out as teasing, but I had deeper meaning.
And this song is a good song, as you can't tell. You probably expected that. It's another one of them slow, kind of emotional, nice build-up songs. And the drop it actually comes with it is quite nice. I was thinking Elite, but in a way, it almost ruined the song, the drop. I quite liked the vibe, and the vibe was a little bit too, like, slow. I don't really know how to describe it. I know I put From Here in Elite, and that's the slowest one, but I just didn't quite get that kind of niceness out of this song. It's going to be a good song, very close to being Elite, but it's not quite. That's the album done. We come on to volume 7 now with our first song being Blinded. So another song that could have quite easily been average, but going to find something poor. The build-up was quite nice, but again, the beat drop lets itself down. I don't know how many times I've said that by now, but it's so many times it's happened that the beat drop just really isn't to the standard of the build-up, and it's just quite unfortunate because the song had a quite nice vibe at first, but it's going to be in poor category. Next, we have Cobra. This song is going to be in the good category. The beat to this is very, very chilled and very nice to listen to. It's very relaxing. However, it's not quite Elite. I don't really know why. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just the vibe I got from the song. Just isn't quite Elite standard. It is very good though. It could have been easily been Elite, but it's going to stay in good for me. Next we have Heatwave. Now, I know I've ripped into songs like this. It's going to be average for me. It's a lot more catchy, it's a lot more easy to listen to than the others, and it is a good hype song as well. So it's not quite poor. It also could have been good though. Depends what mood you're in. For me, it's going to be an average. And next we come on to I'll Go. So this song for me is going to be in the average category as well, because I wasn't quite sure what vibe it was trying to give me here. The start of it sounded like it's going to be one of them songs that's going to be high up, like the ones that I've rated so far. However, it's not quite that level, is it? It's not really as good or as emotional, or the beat is not as good as the others. It's very close to being good, but I'm going to leave it an average. Next we have Mark Twain.
A flame from my wrist. I can't act surprised when the shovels hit dirt in the earth.
So Mark Twain is going to be another elite song. Just the beat of it is sensational, and it really goes with the vocals that are going on at the same time. The beat is one of the best on the game by far. Like, it is so good. It just complements the song so well. It's going to find some elite. It's such a nice song to have on and listen to at the same time. It's just incredible. And next you have Only You.
Only you give me that deja
Which is a good song, a very kind of happy vibe here. The only thing that doesn't quite get it to elite is just not quite got that kick that puts in the elite. It doesn't really hit me as hard as the other ones that do in elite. It's still quite a good song though, so it's going to stay in good. So this song I'm pretty sure got released with the Chinese New Year kind of update that brought the Forbidden Temple map, and that is why I know it so well. I didn't have to listen to it. It's going to be average though. It's a very chilled, nice, relaxing vibe it gives, but it's just, again, not quite that level. It's quite boring over time, and the drops don't get any better, and the drop is quite mediocre as it is, but the kind of start build up, the little tune in the background, the kind of like bells, I don't really know how to describe it, it's very chill. I do like that. That's what puts it in average. Next we have Test Me by Dion Timmer and Slooshy. Dion Timmer are back again. So I had high hopes for this song coming into, because these two got quite nice. However, it's only going to be an average. The Mickey Mouse thing for me, the higher pitched noise, isn't really needed. However, the beat is okay. It's not poor by any means, but it's not a good song. It can never be a good song, but it's not poor. It can be quite nice to listen to, I guess. It's quite a nice vibe it gives off, but the drop isn't that standard. And the final song in his album is The One.
replaying your words there in my head.
So originally I saw this song as being an average or good song with the first kind of vocals thing. I'm thinking this drop's got to be good, and the drop comes in, and again it just completely butchers the song. There's no need for that harsh drop. Just have a nice one, have a nice chilled one, and it would be a good song, but it's just not, and it's just too harsh for me. It's going to be a poor song just for that reason, and that is probably the worst song in that album. That is the end of the album though. Some good ones in there, most of them are average. Average is kind of obviously the average of all the songs, it kind of makes sense. But next we're going on to Rocket League Monster Cat 2020. So we'll start with All I Need, probably the most famous Rocket League song. Where else could this song be other than Elite? There's no other place to put it. If you literally type in what is that Rocket League song, this song comes up. It is the most well-known Rocket League song by a long way, only because it came out when the free-to-play update came out, and that is why. Everybody knows it. It is so catchy. It's so nice to listen to. It's such like a chilled song as well as a nice kind of hype song. It's just such a good song to have on. It just really is. It's just the I don't really like the Mickey Mouse stuff, but it works here. It really does, and it just adds to the vibe, and it's just such a nice song. It is definitely worth the elite. And next we have Bust It Out. So, if you can't tell, it is obviously going to be skipped by a complete contrast to the last song. The reason why, it's just, it starts on a bad note. It starts on a bad note with the Mickey Mouse fucking high-pitched shit. and then the beat drop comes in and it just doesn't sound like it's going to be good, and it looks like it's about to get better and it just doesn't. It gets worse. So it's going to be skip, straight skip for me. The start is what tops it off for me. If I heard that at the start, I'll just skip straight away. Next we have Chasing Clouds.
Why do you keep chasing clouds? Gonna live before I feel something, ooh. Before I go and change my mind.
So this song could have very easily been average, but I'm going to drop it down to poor. I do like Bad Computer, as I mentioned earlier. However, this just really wasn't great. It could have even been average. It's quite a nice vibe, I guess, but it's just very boring. It doesn't really get anything going. It could have easily been average, though. It was a very tough decision to put in between average and poor, but I did pick poor. Mostly because we have a lot of average songs as well. I kind of want to change it up a bit. But the poor category for me. And next we have Enigma by Pixel Terror. So this song starts off so well and I'm thinking good. The beat drop comes in, it's not the worst, but it doesn't get any better as time goes on. The song, I was thinking, okay, maybe average, but then it doesn't get any better, so I'm thinking, okay, it's poor. It's going to be a poor song. It starts off so well as well. Just the start of it makes you think, yeah, it's going to be a good song. And it completely changes. I don't know why. It's going to be a poor song for me. And next we have Fighters. This song could have been elite, but it's going to stay in good. I do love the vocals, I love the beat drop, I love the kind of music. I don't really know what it is that keeps it out of elite, but it's just the vibe I get. Again, not quite good, not quite elite even. It's going to stay in good. It is a good song, but no stretch of the imagination. It was very close to elite, as a lot of the good ones are, but just not quite to the same standard as the top ones. And next we have Galaxies. This song, no doubt in my mind, elite, 100%. It is fucking brilliant. I love it. The beat is incredible. It's so catchy. It's so good to listen to. It's such a hype song. This song reminds me as well when my channel started to blow up as well. So I've got really good memories attached to this. Everything good about it. I absolutely love this song. It's so catchy as well. It's always stuck in my head every time I hear it. And next you have Gold by Coven. Now, if you're paying attention, you will know what I said about them last time, so you know exactly where this one's going. Of course, it's going elite songs. Probably one of the best, if it's not top three, it's up there. Probably one of the best songs on this game. It's insane. It's absolutely incredible. It's one of the most hyped songs I've ever heard. It is so nice as well. I listen to it no matter what mood I'm in. That's what puts it in elite. There's no doubt in my mind it's elite. It's one of the best songs in this game without a doubt. Now, what I said about Coven, they need to put more songs in this game. So here we have I Remember Then. This song is going in the poor category for exactly the same reasons as most of them are in the poor category. A nice build up, but a shocking drop, and it just does not help itself out. It's going to be poor. Could have been average maybe, but no, it's poor for me. Next we have Odin's Ghost. When I first heard this song, I didn't really like it, but as time went on and it got more and more played in the intro, it's going elite. There might become as a shock to you, but it's such a good song. The beat is insane, and the beat drop's insane. The vibe it gives off is such like a chilled. I don't really know what it is about it. It's just such a nice song to have on. For me, I love it. It's so good. It almost gets me hyped without even meaning to do it. It's incredible. I love it. Some good potential here, Revenger. However, it's going to be poor for a reason you could probably predict. So I'm not even going to bother saying it. You don't know why it's poor. I'm not going to bother saying it anymore. Next we have Skin by Rome in Silver.
Picture what you're thinking of. I am imagination's not enough. No, it's not safe to say.
So this song is average for me. It's got a kind of nice drop. It's got quite a nice chilled vibe going on. It does get better as time going on as well. I was originally thinking poor maybe, but it is so chilled. I do like this kind of song. It's quite nice. It does get better as time goes on as well, as I said. So that is going to find itself an average for me. It could have been maybe better, could have been maybe worse, but it's just up to opinion, isn't it really? Next we have Someone Else, one of the newer songs in this playlist.
Say it's okay when it feels like I'm drowning. I hate to say goodbye.
And the newer ones are actually a lot better. This one's going elite as well. It's such a good song. I don't really know what else to say. The vocals are incredible. The drop is very nice. It's such a hype song. When I first heard this song on the loadout screen, I wasn't the biggest fan, but over time it's got grown on me a lot more. It's going to be elite for me. Next we have Therapy.
I think I need therapy or just some more whiskey. I can't seem to understand how you do this to me. You've been running in circles.
So this song's okay. It's going to go in average. One of the many average songs we have going on here. I was thinking poor. I was also thinking good. It's one of them songs that could go either way. It's quite boring though. It really is quite boring, so I had to set with average. Next we have Void Walkers. So this song is an instant skip for me because I know exactly what it's like now once I've heard it once. The start is thinking average maybe, and then the beat drop, and that beat drop is horrendous. Absolutely shocking. It's so loud, it's so noisy, absolutely ear splitting, absolutely no need for it to be like that. It's going to be a skip category straight away for me. And the last song of this playlist we have Worst Part of Heaven. So here we have another poor song, Worst Part of Heaven. I'm getting sick and tired of saying the same thing. The vocals are nice, the build up is nice. I'm thinking good song, it's got a good drop, and then the drop comes in. It's not even a drop. It's more fucking chilled out, laid back than fucking the song itself. The build up, that's not how it's gonna go. It just isn't nice to listen to. It's so anticlimactic. I really wish it did a better drop because the vocals at the start are quite nice. It definitely would have been a good song at least if it had a better drop. But that sums up the Monster Cat 2020 for me. And next we are getting into the VIP remixes. And this album is all remixes from the kind of old songs. So it'll be saying a lot of repeating song titles here, but you better tell the difference from the album cover, of course. So our first one is From Here, the remix. Unfortunately, the remix is absolutely nowhere near as good as the original. Original's elite, this one's in poor. It completely ruined the vibe of the song. They've added a completely unnecessary beat drop to it. It just completely takes away the vibe. And if you take away that vibe, it does make it a bad song because it's just not interesting. It's quite a boring song without the kind of emotional vibe it brings to it. So they've tried to add a beat drop in a song that doesn't need a beat drop, it doesn't want a beat drop, so it's going to be a poor song. And next you have the Horsepower remix. And this song is also poor. They've made a hype song less hypey. I don't know how they managed to do it. They've ruined the beat drop completely, but it is not quite a skip song because I know what the original's like. I can kind of make sense of it, but yeah, I can still kind of trace the original a little bit, so it's going to be a poor song, not quite skip. Next we have the Outbreak remix. Third time in a row we have another poor song. So the original was actually in average, of course, but this again just takes a song that doesn't need the extra beat drop and adds a worse one. It originally thought it was going to be better from the start of it, but it just doesn't turn out that way. It's going to be lower than its original, as all the ones are so far. It's going to be a poor song. Next we have Rocket VIP, which I've also just noticed has disappeared from the list. Unfortunately, it was meant to be where Glide is, but for some reason it's not there anymore, but this is his remix. So, the original was in port, this one's also going in port. Another song had a bad beat drop originally, kind of anticlimactic. This one's just identical. It's literally the same thing, just slightly different. So it's going to be poor. It's no surprise really. It's pretty much the same song, just slightly different. And next we have Shiawaza VIP. Pretty sure this is in fact our last average song, or it might be one of the last ones, I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure it's one of the last average songs. The original wasn't good. Another song, they kind of ruined the vibe of the song and added an unnecessary beat drop, but it's not as bad as the other ones, so it's going to be average. Next we have Silhouette Remix. Now, obviously, the original found itself in Elite because it's one of my favourite songs. However, this one's going to find itself in good. The remix, again, isn't quite as good. These remixes really have not done well. They've made the songs worse so far. And it's going to find something good. It's not quite the level. They've added a beat drop, which doesn't really go with the song. So it's not quite that good. It's not quite elite. It's good, though. It's not bad. Next, we have Walking on the Moon remix. Now, Bad Computer remixed this, and you can tell because they haven't made it worse at all. In fact, they probably made it better. I almost prefer this version. It's definitely elite, 100%. The original's elite. This one is almost better. So it's definitely elite. It adds to the song in a way. The beat that they've added is better than the one that was originally there, in my opinion. So it's going to be elite, 100%. And the final song in this album, I'm pretty sure it's the 8th last song we have here, is What Are You Waiting For VIP. Absolutely revolutionised this song, taking it from an average to an elite song. This is one of my favourite songs on this game at the moment. It's so high energy, it's so hype, I fucking love it. It really gets me going. I wouldn't even listen to this song outside of Rocket League as well for things that I need to get hyped up for, like sport, etc. It really does create a really nice vibe for me. I fucking love it. It's so gas to listen to. And that sums up the VIP mixes. Overall, not great. However, there's a couple that do take the song to the next level. Next, we have the Cascade EP. Starting off with Closer. Let's give that a listen. So all of these songs come in this year. The last 7 will come in this year. And these are the last 7. I'm actually doing this mid-March, so if there's any more songs that come out by the time this has to come out, I won't be doing them because I've already edited all the tier lists, all the kind of transitions, everything, so I won't be able to change it now. But this song is elite, no doubt in my mind. It's such a nice song. The beat drop is incredible, and the Cascade album as a whole is pretty much the best one out there. So that's elite song. Let's get into the next one, which is Flip Reset. Another one of the most popular songs you'll hear is very, very common. It's actually playing in one of the maps. Neon Field is literally playing in the background. It was the intro song for a very long time, and for me it's elite. It's so catchy. The beat drop is incredible. As I said about Cascade's albums, they are so good. Hopefully we'll get more music from them in this game. Compared to the rest of them, levels above. Honestly, they're just incredible. If they were actually watching this, then I fucking love them. So if any of the artists watching this, please let me know. I doubt they will be. I'm not too sure how this video is going to do. Does well on the artists that will actually somehow watch it. I'm very sorry if your song is in the skip category. It's nothing personal, it's just music taste. I very much doubt they're going to be watching any of this. Anyway, next song is Miles to Go by Cascade. the current, as I'm filming, intro song and another elite song. What is to say about this song? It's got the perfect mix of a lovely beat drop, and vocals are just incredible. I've absolutely nothing to say. No faults in these last three songs at all. They're all incredible, all deserve elite, 100%. And the last song in the album is Solid Ground.
We look off the edge till the waves come crashing in, and we say our goodbyes to
The only one not to make elite, Solid Ground, but it's still going to be a good song. It's not quite the level, the beat drop isn't quite as good, and the kind of vibe of the song isn't quite to the level of the others. It's just not quite there. It could have been elite, but I'm going to leave it in good instead. And now we come on to the last album, which is the Monster Cat 2021 album. Only 3 songs in this one so far as I'm filming this. Let's get into the first one, Good For Me. And of course, this song was my goal music for a very long time. If you have watched my videos, you'll know that. And when that happens, it's always going to be an elite song. 100%. I fucking love this song. Such good energy from it. Such positive vibe coming from this song. It's fucking brilliant. I love it. Tell you what, if Rocket League carry on implementing the songs as they are, there's going to be some bangers in the future. Next, we come on to Same Mistake.
And I don't wanna fake it. What if I can't walk away? You got me standing.
Which is a good song, not quite elite. It is a very good song. The drop is a little bit anticlimactic in my opinion, but it was again borderline elite. All the songs, the last 7 songs, are incredible. Like, they're all good songs. A lot of people use this song as their goal explosion. I in fact use the next one, which kind of gives away what the next one's going to be, and it's a race rank, but this one is a good song. And we come on to the final song now, which is Union by Vindata, the very last song of this list. And of course, it is my current goal music, meaning it's bound to be elite. It is an incredible song. The vibe is immaculate. There's nothing wrong to say about this. Absolutely no fault to this song at all. You have to listen to it to know that. And that is all the songs. We will show the original average row and the new average row. As you can see, there's plenty of songs. For some reason, Rocket's gone. I don't know why Rocket's not on there anymore. It was a poor song, so there's actually one missing from this list for some reason. 136 songs we have here. That is insane, the amount of songs in this game. They're all actually not that bad. Just some of them really are just like either very anticlimactic or do not live up to their expectations. Some of them are horrible and I skip them, I get that, but there's only 8 of them down there in the skip songs, and there's a lot more in the elite songs. It shows a lot about this game's songs at the moment, especially the fact that the last 5 in elite are the 5 of the last 7 songs. They're doing a really good job at the moment bringing in new incredible songs to this game, and I do like it. It's a nice vibe. I spend a lot of my time in the main menu fucking about trying to think of ideas, and usually I just leave the game on so I can listen to the music. And that is the song tier list. It's probably an extremely long video. I don't really know how to make it shorter. I've tried my best, but it's definitely over an hour. And you've probably seen some nice clips in here as well. Tried to make it as least boring as possible, but it's a song tier list. 138 songs, 136 songs. It's not going to be quick at all. So that is a song tier list. I'm surprised if you're still here, but please let me know what your favourite song is if you are watching this. My favourite one at the moment has got to be Miles to Go, 100%, the newest one. Not much else to say about that. Let me know what your favourite is. Let me know what your least favourite is as well, and let me know on anything you disagree with. This also took me a long time, so please do subscribe. By the time I'm editing this, we are on 543 subs. I'm trying to get it to 655 for the next sub special video, and I need to start filming that as well, because that's going to take me a long time. I don't want to give away what it is yet, but that would give me a long time. That would take a long time, so please do subscribe if you enjoyed this, because it took me so long to make this. All the fucking clips, all the songs, all the fucking editing, deciding where to go. The tier list itself took me the longest time, but yeah, that is the song tier list. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know, as I've said, what your favorites are, etc. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.